How's everyone doing? This is Joe with Ohio Wood Burner. I just thought I would give you guys a view of me, let you know I survived my experience on the top of the log truck. that was weird, man. And I have no shame in my performance because I know that it sure does look a lot easier when you watch someone like Log Hauler Jesse working those controls. Today's video took place the day before the video you saw me working the controls, and it shows a ride along with the truck and what it takes for Jesse to load the truck. And for me, it was a very insightful experience, and it was one of those things, I think, from a business standpoint, it made me better now as a firewood delivery service, because now I better understand the log truck and the plight of the log hauler. And I think that is, if you're looking to improve and be better at what you do, it's good to know all of the elements that play a role in your success or your opportunities. So that is what I learned from this video that you're about to see now. We have finally had a break in the weather. It's warmed up some. I've been able to get some firewood made. This is going to get stacked. And here we go with the video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. This is really cool, guys. Log Hauler Jesse. I'm in his office right now. Secretary. Yeah, we are on a run. He asked if I wanted to come along, and I was like, heck yeah, man. So we are pulling into a logging site, and we're going to load up some logs. A couple things, guys. It is super windy out. We've had some interesting weather, and I'm serious, we began the morning at 15 degrees and now it's in the upper 60s. When you have these big temperature changes, man, that wind starts whipping. So I apologize if there's any wind noise, but here we go. This was my first time ever in a big truck like that. It was kind of cool. I remember being a little boy, we would play semi-truck, and we'd always have our arm up and pretend we had tobacco in, because at least we thought all truck drivers chew tobacco, but Jesse doesn't. But here we go. He is backing up, and we're going to load these logs right here onto the truck. Pretty cool, huh? And I have a feeling these are going to go somewhere important. I'm going to get ran over here. Yeah, this was an exciting opportunity. He had said that he's going to go pick up some logs. I had just got back from a delivery, so I thought, what the heck, man, I'll go along for a ride. But I'll get some more footage on the inside of the truck. Maybe we can see a little bit more about Log Hauler Jesse's office. Well, hi there. So Log Hauler Jesse, what do we got going on here?
Well, I'm getting you some firewood. Seems like pretty straight stuff.
Okay, so it's coming to me. I said it's going to someplace special, so that would be to the wood yard. All right, so what this is all a logging job then? You're working for a logger right now.
Yeah, he brought it all out, and then there's some softwood here. It's all logged in there.
All right.
And then, pretty much this is all firewood.
So you call these things up here saw logs, so they're going to be going to the mills.
Yeah, saw mills.
And the loggers still can make money with all the tops and the smaller trees, and that's coming to them.
This is quake and ash. It's a softwood. And I moved over into PA. There's some mills over there that cut them off for different materials.
This is poplar?
No, it's quake and ash.
Quake and ash.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it's a real softwood. It's not good for a lot of things, but there's certain mills that they make certain pallets and different things with them.
Okay.
For
All
packaging.
right. Well, we don't want that for firewood then.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna stand up. I'll go up here and we're gonna see what's going on. There we go. So I'm standing next to these saw logs here. These are the logs that are going to the mill. And then all of the firewood poles are over here. And all of these logs are silver maple. The locals up here, the Amish, they call them soft maple, which is the opposite of hard maple, which I think hard maple is regarded as sugar maple. And then your silver maples, they call them soft maple. So this is a first for me. I'm just sitting here thinking, I have never seen the truck get loaded. And I recall Jesse saying, you know, that his moneymaker, oh my God, that was scary. His moneymaker isn't firewood. He says because it takes too long to load the truck up versus saw logs. He says because he can get those done real quick. So what he's doing now, the homeowner has to get their truck out. So he is going to move his truck out of the way so this guy can get out. So now he's going to pull back in and continue loading. But that's a skill too, you know, backing up a big truck like that. Because man, you know, you see like down in here the mud, how one miscalculation and you're off the gravel and that thing is stuck. So he's going to get it, get his outriggers back down and continue loading. Looking at some of these logs. All right, so he's back at it. When he has a particular and finicky customer such as me, I think what you're going to see him doing is cherry picking and leaving, you know, some of the bigger crooked logs behind, because he knows that certain customers will gripe. So I think that's what we're seeing right now with him. He is cherry picking. He's trying to get me that ideal log that I'm looking for, which is the skinny, straight, silver maple. I love the silver maple. I think it's a great wood. You know, it gets a lot of bad press because it is. It's not, you know, it's not light like poplar or sycamore or anything, but you know, it's not. It doesn't have the BTUs like oak or beech or hickory has. But what I have learned, at least with the way I sell firewood, is value-added firewood, and my customers, you know, they're not heating with wood for heat. So I think BTUs to them is irrelevant, and I think the species that they really don't care. They just want a nice, clean, easy to light log that they can have a nice, you know, weekend of fires. And that's what I'm just saying. You know, the silver maple is just ideal for that. I find that it's very easy to work with. It splits nice, it looks great, and it dries out quick too. The downside of it, though, I think it needs to be sold that year. It doesn't keep long. If you keep it longer than a year, it starts to rot out or turn punky, and you know, just loses, I think, what makes it nice. The other thing that I've learned about these logging trucks, and I have said this in an earlier video, you know, you have the two kinds of trucks. You got the ones that's got their crane on the back, like this truck, and the others that have the crane on the front. The limiting factor, I think, on a truck like Jesse's is, you know, the crane is in the way of putting a longer log on. And I don't know what the laws are here about what they can have overhanging. It's probably different by state, but I just see other trucks, you know, that have cranes on the front, they'll have a lot of it hanging out the back. So it just makes me think that if there are really nice looking longer logs, that they don't get loaded onto this truck. That would, from a financial standpoint, I would say that that would lower my yield per delivery, because there's, you know, less wood on a truck like this. But I think too, you know, that's where it pays to have a good relationship with your logger or with the driver, and you know, get it loaded professionally so that there's minimal airspace in there, and you just get a lot of nice looking logs. You know, so this is also the time of year, guys, you know, so let's look here. We obviously got mud. Here's a log that's been drugged through the mud, and mud's no good, in my opinion. You know, mud is no good. I think, you know, if you are one of the, you know, the customer, like for instance me, I would say that I am a customer like that. I could care less if it's muddy or not, because I'm heating with an outdoor wood furnace. But, you know, the style of firewood that I am selling, I don't want mud. I think this is really usually a bad time of the year to be buying logs. And I have, you know, when I still buy firewood, I've noticed a lot of the logs that you buy that's already made into firewood, a lot of them are covered in mud. Just because now, you know, the snow's melted, the ground is soft, these trucks are going in and out, and, you know, the logs are getting drugged through this. He's probably going to set that one off to the side and put it on top, I would imagine. You know, so loading this truck, guys, it's just like loading your own pickup truck. You know, if you just throw your firewood in, just hand tossing it, you know, you could never get as much in there as you could if it was neatly stacked. So I think that's what we're watching here with a log hauler who's taking the extra time to load this truck right. Probably from a safety standpoint too, you know, you don't want it too heavy on one side. That'd probably be a little bit dangerous driving it down the road. And then I'm also watching too, you know, how like the logs, you don't want it hitting his hoses from the crane or just right off to the side. So I'd be worried about them getting ripped off. Here's my learning experience, guys. I've seen this now firsthand, where, you know, we want to develop relationships with these loggers, with the log haulers, so that we can get these logs brought to our own land. And I get a lot of questions asking advice on what, you know, someone can do to get a relationship built with one of these guys. But I'm seeing it firsthand. This is, you know, that's slowing him down. I would imagine these big logs that I'm standing against right here, he could have probably had these on already and we're down the road. But here he is, he's fiddling around with, you know, firewood poles. They're skinnier, there's more of them. They slide and they get jumbled, and it slows them down. So this is a learning experience. So serious. You're watching me right now, I'm becoming a better business owner, because now I understand what these loggers are going through. I'm glad I came along for this ride. Got you a different angle here. See if we can get a better view of everything. Yeah, these are looking good. These are nice looking logs. I know my processor is gonna make mincemeat out of these logs. Yeah, so that log's a little crooked. So he spun it around to put the crook towards the back of it, get it to lay better. I'm looking at the stress being put on this truck too while he's doing all this loading and unloading. And it looks like we're full, guys. All right, Jesse, we just watched you load this, and I was telling the viewers that I remember you saying how, you know, you don't make, firewood isn't your money maker like saw logs are, and I've just witnessed it firsthand. That takes time to get this loaded versus these saw logs. You could just load those up and you're gone.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
So you really got to mess around to get these to fit. And I noticed that some of these are a little bit too long, and that's also dangerous for you too, because that log's coming at you, huh?
Oh yeah, it's right in your face all the time. Yeah, unfortunately, you got to remind these guys to measure them sometimes, because they'll get 28 footers, 26. I can put them on. Problem is, when I'm loading, if I have a long one mixed in with the short one, it's easy to get smacked upside the head or bust my horns off the truck, stacks, the little blinky lights. I've crushed them all.
Yeah. All right. So that is, this is, now you're fully loaded.
Yeah.
And you are now subject to inspection, right? Going down the road.
Yeah.
So you as a professional, what are you worried about, or what's important to you with this particular load?
The biggest thing with logs is not hanging over the sides. You can have from your back lights back, it's 5 feet. So like this one would be getting close. Normally you'd hang a flag or paint it orange. But you know, you see telephone poles going down the road with a little trailer, and they're hanging 20 feet behind the lights,
right?
But they have a little flag on it. So that's just the main thing. You don't want anything rubbing on your tires. The biggest thing that you can get in trouble for is if you hang over the side of the truck, because you're only allowed to be 8 foot or 102.
So if you had a crooked log that snuck around the upright, you could...
Which happens, and then when you're loaded, you're just like...
All right. Okay, so now you got to strap your load, and then we got to head on down.
Right.
Because you got a real cranky customer that needs these logs ASAP.
Yeah, right? He loves these little tiny toothpicks that are the most dangerous thing to load.
Yeah,
and time-consuming.
I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it firsthand. So these look like to be gorgeous firewood here one day.
Yeah, they're good.
Huh?
It's just, you know, if you think about the bigger sized ones, you might have 80 pieces, and with these you'll have 90 to 100. So that's an extra 20 pieces, which is an extra few more times you got to pick them up.
Yeah.
They're way easier to unload than load.
And then these ones on the bottom are going to be muddy.
Yeah, some of them, but yeah. There's probably only half a load of firewood. There'll probably be a load of the softwoods, load of the grade, and then I'll come back and probably get all this on one cleanup load, I think.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right, we'll get them strapped and let's get on down the road. All right. Looks like you've done that before.
Climb up there.
Oh,
It's hard on you, ain't it?
53-year-old knees.
Tried to do that about 5 times a day.
I did it, guys. I made it. All right.
Well, you would have really disliked the Mac if you got to ride that thing.
Really? Beat you to pieces, huh?
Yeah, your knees would have been up your chin.
So I would bet you probably have pulled into a number of places, got loaded, and the entire time you're loading, you're wondering, am I going to be able to get out when it's time to leave?
Yeah, you always get out eventually.
You just sit there and spin.
Yeah, I've had a few times I've had to stay until somebody got there and bring me out.
Oh, goodness. So we are now driving down the road. How much does our truck weigh now, Jesse?
I'm guessing I'm probably around 76,000, so we're way under legal.
All right, so we are legal, but at any minute, the state could pull you over and inspect you. Is that right?
Yeah, the DOT, usually they're, is it PUCO, the motor carrier.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, they'll stop you and give you different types. There's a stage 1, 2, and 3 inspection, I think it is. I don't know. I'm not sure of all the rules. I just know I go along to get along.
Uh-huh. So how does the truck drive differently when it's fully loaded? You can feel the weight?
Yeah, I mean, you're a little bit slower, a lot more top heavy, so you can feel the roads. Like this time of year when the roads are thawing out, the side berm always seems a little bit lower or softer when the ground's like this, when it's thawed and wet. So certain roads you normally don't notice that you go down in this time of year and your truck's just really leaning. But you just don't normally look back. Keep eyes on the forward. That's your high range.
Yeah.
So this is your low range. That's your high range. This is your splitter on the side. So this is when the switch is back. That's the low side of the gear. You flip it forward. That's the high side.
All right. So what's all this hissing noise, Jesse?
I lifted my front 2 axles because it's kind of a tight turn. It's a little easier on the truck, easier on the front end.
All right.
And I'll drop it back down.
And I can hear the turbo whistling.
Here's the boost here. Check the boost on the turbo.
Yeah, so we're just cruising in the big rig, guys.
Yeah.
Jesse, what kind of fuels this thing? What's your consumption like?
Just burning $100 bills out the stack.
Oh my God!
I get 4 miles a gallon, 4.5 if I'm lucky.
Wow.
But that's with idle time running the load,
Yeah, she is. We are pulling into Jesse's shop now. We're just going to assume it's going to fit.
It'll fit. I got to pull it a little further than normal because I got some long loads on the back.
All right.
It's the end of the day.
And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video and learning about the log trucks and watching these things work. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate everyone. Everyone have a great day.